Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 28th of July 2019 for another exciting episode, and we're going to get straight into it this week with quite possibly one of my favourite aircraft of the modern era. And I'm talking about a Carbon Cub. Now, this comes to us from developer, I believe, Big Tire, I think is that. I've been trying to find out who the developer's name was, but it looks like it was Big Tire. And this comes out for X-Plane 11. And I have got a lot of fond memories of discovering a Carbon Cub and doing all sorts of crazy stuff with it in Microsoft Flight. So it has a special place in my heart, it really does. And it's come out for X-Plane 11 and it looks absolutely amazing. So the Carbon Cub, for those who don't know what it is basically takes the old venerable J3 Cub, well actually the sort of the more updated Super Cub version from Piper, but then sort of essentially rebuilds it, but with modern materials. Obviously, number one chief being amongst them being carbon fiber to make it a lot lighter. Goes through, updates the avionics, giving you modern GPS and modern touch panel avionics, as well as some of your classic gauges as well. So there's a lot going on. Essentially, it's all designed to make it a lot lighter. So it's stronger and lighter than the original Cub or the original Suit or the earlier Super Cub. And that just means that you can actually do some really, really cool stuff with it. And you can take off and land this thing on a damn postage stamp. Like, it's just awesome. Anyway, and there's actually, and there's a lot of work's gone into this one as well. We've actually come through here where you've actually got a dual axis autopilot, which is a fairly new addition to the Carbon Cub line. You've also got liveries of various real-world Carbon Cubs based off some of the airframes that the development team had access to. They had access to Airframes Alaska and many of the ones that they actually service. So it was great to actually see that a lot of work went into this one. Otherwise, in terms of stuff that comes in here, it actually comes in with a accurate flight model. It comes in with full high-res 4K PBR textures internally and externally, a highly accurate 3D model, both again internally and externally, full implementation of the Fmod sound suite as well, accurate flight model, and also includes simulated hydroplaning. For anyone who hasn't seen it, there's a search on YouTube of carbon. I think it's Cub water skiing, I think is what you can search for and find it. Is this group of Cub flyers in Alaska or in the Northwest Territories of Canada, and they're all actually sort of skimming along the surface of a lake. It's just awesome. It really is. Anyway, so yes, if you are wanting to pick this one up for your X-Plane 11 experience, you're looking at $35 or your regional equivalent, available now from xplane.org. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases this week in a release from a developer which I had thought after their little fiasco with their ATR had actually given up on the X-Plane 11 world. At least that was what they were sort of telling everyone. Turns out that we've actually had a couple of releases from them recently, and this time around we saw the Turbo Otter come out this week. So the Turbo Otter from Milviz has been one of the very successful GA aircraft, and a very highly accurate rendition of the aircraft, and they've now brought it across onto X-Plane 11, which is of course great to see. A lot of pilots have been sort of moving on to the X-Plane 11 platform. So this comes through, as I said, it essentially is a port over. It doesn't seem to be any updates or anything really different going through the feature list here. So as I said, it gives you a highly accurate 3D model both internally and externally. You get 4 different configurations of it. You've got standard wheels, floats, amphibious floats, or skis, depending on which one you want to take up, what sort of work you're going to be doing in your flight sim. Variety of different loadout configurations, whether you're going to have passengers or cargo as well. Apparently they also include an externally mounted canoe, which I do believe was also in the ESP version as well. Highly accurate rendition of the electrical systems, custom coding, custom over boosting and cumulative damage simulation as well, which is interesting. I think that was on the ESP platform one as well. And full implementation of the unique flap operation of the DHC3T aircraft. full implementation of a range of icing effects on the airframe and static instruments also fully simulated. Full implementation of the FMOD FMOD sound system and with a custom sound set from Sim Acoustics. Also includes a custom coded PT6 engine, which is always great to have. As I said, a whole slew of other stuff. Again, nothing really new or different from the ESP1. So it's great to see that Milviz were able to bring their quality product over onto X-Plane 11 platform. So if you are wanting to pick this one up, this one's available over at their Milviz's website, their web store. Now this is normally $40 but they do have an introductory special for the next week or so of $35 available now from Milviz. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases, the guys over at Sim Coders have continued with their overhaul of many popular aircraft in X-Plane 11 and their reality expansion pack line by overhauling Carinado's Pilatus PC-12. So for those who haven't heard of the Rep add-ons, it's essentially what A2A do to their aircraft and make them with their sort of, ultimate realism by sort of modeling everything from sort of oil temperature to how long the oil sits in the engine, how the battery operates, how warm or how cold the aircraft has been, and stuff like that. This sort of is what they do for X-Plane 11, and they've gone through an absolutely incredible amount of detail. They do it for a range of aircraft. They don't produce any aircraft themselves, I don't believe anyway, but they just this custom software that works implements with popular add-ons. I think one of their first ones was for the Baron 58, the default Baron, and they've just grown from there with a lot of content coming out. And as I said, this one for Carinator PC-12 is coming out really interesting content here as well, including a updated PT6 engine logic has been included, a full new sound set has been included, updates of the modeling of the landing gear and how the landing gear operates. Also gives you a weight and balance tool, a complex damages system both for the airframe and for the elements of your engines and wheels as well. It gives you interactive walk around abilities, interactive towing, a maintenance hangar so you can sort of maintain your aircraft, electrical updates to some of the electrical and avionics systems, native virtual reality support, custom simulation of hypoxia is included as well, a simulation state saving. And what a thing that I found interesting as well, and I do believe they do this on all their add-ons, is that it actually is designed to work in with an economy system such as FS Economy. So yeah, if you do fly this aircraft in FS Economy, you will now start paying more for your damages. So yeah, kind of cool, kind of interesting. If you are wanting to pick this one up, this one's available from the Explain.org store, coming in at $20 or your regional equivalent, available now. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases, but moving into the world of scenery releases, the guys over at Dreamflight Studios have released their rendition of Mexico City International Airport. So this is the largest international airport in Mexico, and is actually Latin America's busiest airport in terms of passenger traffic and air movements as well. Over 30 domestic and international passenger airlines service out of this airport, and 17 cargo carriers can be seen at various times coming through its docks. Now, this rendition of the airport is how it appears. It looks like in 2018, sort of mid to late 2018. It's highly detailed 3D modeling of all major airport buildings and objects. High quality photoreal ground textures are being used throughout, including updates to include realistic airport surroundings as well. Custom city buildings as well. So not only do you get the modeling of the airport, you also get a range of visual markers and visual sort of unique buildings throughout the Mexico City itself. Full implementation of updated lighting system for the runway and taxi lighting. Full implementation of 4K PBR texturing throughout all the buildings and the ground textures as well. Full use of all the various night effects and updates of water puddles as well. So you actually get when it rains, you can actually see it on the ground. So that's kind of cool, kind of interesting. So this one is available from Sim Market, coming in at $26 or your regional equivalent, available now. Continuing with another scenery release, the guys over at Orbix have released their rendition of London City Airport. So London City Airport is an interesting sort of single strip airport in the centre of London, just on the Thames. and is a really interesting sort of, as I said, like, it was very interesting. Many sort of joke that the Avro RJ85 and its predecessor, the BAE 146, was actually designed to land at this airport, because it was designed for be able to land at a very high angle of attack, a very high descent rate, and still be able to flare and land safely, because it was designed to be able to sort of allow this airport to be able to grow and still be able to use passenger jet aircraft as well. So there's a lot of restrictions that go on any aircraft that fly in and out, so you see a lot of turboprops coming in and out of here, and as I said, a lot of the Avro RJ series still coming through. Some of the ERJs, I think for the newer ERJs, are sort of coming through, but said they have to have various weight and passenger restrictions simply because of the abilities of the aircraft to be able to perform the final approaches they have to do of the building. So yeah, kind of cool. Otherwise, so this one is designed to a couple of notes of this one is the usual high quality work that we see from Orbix. So full use of HD textures, full use of PBR texturing throughout, for all the airport buildings and the ground texturings and the surrounding areas as well. Custom PBR ground polygon as well with dry, damp, and wet states. Full use of PBR textures for all the ground service equipments and clutter models as well. Variety of custom vector data, so for all the road traffic, you get a range of realistic traffic coming on the streets as well. Includes a large, quite a few of the visual landmarks, including the XL building, Tate and Lyle Sugar Factory, and a variety of several surrounding high-rise buildings as well. 60cm ortho imagery also included as well for the airport and the surrounding area. Now, a couple of things as well to sort of note for this one as well is that it is able to work standalone. It is designed to work with Orbix's True Earth GB South. However, it was fully functional without it, though it is apparently advised that you may see some irregularities with blending from the edge of the scenery, photoreal scenery, so just bear that in mind. There was one little throwaway line that was put into the feature list by Orbix as well, which I'm intrigued about, and everybody tries this, let me know. It apparently has dynamic fire and rescue response. So I don't know if that means if you manage to cook your engine on the ramp, if suddenly you have lights and sirens and dynamic rescue vehicles are turning up. If anybody's figured it out, let me know, because I'd be intrigued if they somehow figured a way to do that, or maybe it's just on some automated tracks. I'm not sure, but yeah, kind of cool, kind of interesting. But yeah, if you are wanting to pick this one up, I was looking at around about $23 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Moving out of X-Plane 11, moving into the ESP world, we saw a couple of releases this week in the scenery releases. I didn't see any aircraft releases this week, just some scenery. First one we saw was the release from Perfect Soft Studio, was the release of Bourafa, which is a northeastern Moroccan city in the heart of the Desert Plains area of there on the heart of the Desert Plains. So, not much. I haven't really got much information about this. Perfect Soft Studio have only come out with a few sceneries. I think maybe 2 others. So yeah, they're a bit light on detail. I've tried to go through and I couldn't get much, but what I could get was that this appears to sort of it seems to be the airport appears again probably 2018, though this airport doesn't change a lot. It's a fairly basic airport. It's a single runway operations, and there's not much I really get about that, at least comparing it to satellite imagery. But it gives you high resolution day and night textures in 4K textures throughout. You get a custom terrain mesh for the airport and the surrounding area as well. Full implementation of custom 3D models and 3D objects for the airport, as it depicts every aspect of its real counterpart. I said no date, but from what I'm comparing, looks 2018-ish. It says over 100,000 hand-placed custom-made vegetation objects. So don't know about that, but yeah, maybe. It does also have photoreal imagery of the surrounding city as well, of the surrounding city of Bourafa, including custom night textures as well. So night textures for both the airport and also for the town as well. So yeah, if you're looking at flying to Morocco, this could be a great stop for you. So this one's coming in at about $18 or your original equivalent, available now from Sim Markets. In another scenery release for the ESP World, the guys over at P-Real Soft continue on with their HD Cities range, but it's kind of coming out with that place, of course, where we need Sam to play it again in Casablanca. So previously, the guys over at P-Real Soft, before they've sort of spent most of their time these days focusing on city releases, they had released a version of Casablanca Airport. And so, along with that, so this is designed to sort of couple with that and expand that a little bit further. So this is designed and based off GIS data map of Casablanca City with photoreal imagery as it says at the start of 2019. It includes a full range of customized autogen and hand-placed autogen for the city and various states. A variety of custom 3D buildings for navigation and custom 3D models. It also includes a full set of the port as well, full implementation of the port, and also designed over there and uses 3D street lighting from FTX Global as well. Also designed to be seamlessly integrated with both, as I said, Casablanca Airport from P-Real Soft, and also designed to be interfaced directly with FTX Global. I'm assuming they're probably going to have to update that once FTX Africa comes out later this year, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But otherwise, if you want to expand your Casablanca experience and maybe fly in a Lockheed L10, then you can pick this one up now from Sim Market for $18 or your regional equivalent, available now. In another release, the guys are over at Sawfly Concepts, who brought us the Ring runway for FSX. They have come out with their latest release, which is Barra Airport. Now, Barra Airport is in Scotland is a really interesting airport because it's a hard surface runway airport that goes underwater. Basically, the runway is actually on the sand. It's actually on the beach, and at high tide, all three of its runways are fully immersed. So yeah, so your flight schedule is actually not so much dictated by the airlines, but dictated by the tides, which is kind of a cool, kind of interesting thing. As I said, it's an interesting airport on an island off the coast of Scotland. And there are daily flights actually there from the island to Glasgow Airport, which is the nearest airport. And it's kind of cool, kind of interesting, great scenery. As far as I'm aware, they have not found a way to actually have the tides flood the airport, which is a bit of a shame. I think it's more of a limitation of the sim, but it's kind of cool, as I said. And it's a really great work. I love Sawfly Concepts. They do some weird and wonderful stuff, and they do some great quality stuff as well. Now, this one is an interesting release. They've essentially released this as freeware. However, if you want to throw them a donation, you can. So you can actually download this one either directly from Simviation or get it through Sawfly Concepts web store. Now, it's put into their web store at £2. So what's that? $3, $2-3. But you can reduce that to nothing by they give you a freeware code in the description, freeware1, which will actually bring that to price to $0. So you can do that if you wish, or if you want to throw them a couple of bucks, you can. It's kind of cool. As I said, they're a pretty good developer. They've been around a long time, so yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys want to grab that, and it's available now for all of the ESP platforms, FSX, and all various versions are prepared, available now. Alright, moving out of the flight sim world and moving into something a little bit out there with ARMA 3's latest DLC of Contact. So, with all the nonsense going around at the moment with this Area 51 rubbish, it was kind of interesting timing. If I was them, I almost actually would have held off releasing this actually for a bit longer. But anyway, basic premise of it is that this puts you in on a fictional island in or a fictional country of Livonia in Eastern Europe, which is a NATO member state, and includes shares its borders with some NATO and some bad Russian dudes. And basically you get a single player campaign of a first contact scenario. You're a specialist, you're a drone operator, that you're involved in a routine NATO exercise, and when suddenly an alien ship turns up. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna let this one go, but there's some. It's an interesting kind of idea. It's been getting some really horrible reviews from the community, so I'm just gonna bear that in mind. I have Arma 3. I think I've got like a couple of hours into, maybe an hour into the original campaign. I just don't play it enough. But yeah, so if you are wanting to pick this one up, you can pick this one up. DLC available for $25 US, normally 28, but currently on a launch special at the moment for $25 US. Or you can pick up a bundle with Arma 3 and the DLC as well if you want. Just check it out. Available now on Steam. Alright, moving to something a little bit more sedate, with Farming Simulator 19 releasing their latest piece of DLC this week with their John Deere Cotton DLC. So basically, this DLC gives you a chance to pick a bale of cotton, and you get you get one brand new John Deere cotton picker, and you get 4 McCormick Industries cotton service vehicles like bale rollers, spears, and tag trailers, and you get 2 new Lizard cotton bale trailers in various forms. Yeah, so if you want to add cotton to your farming repertoire, you can, and this gives you all the tools you can do it with this one, as obviously Farming Simulator 19 required for that one. This one's coming in at $5 or your regional equivalent, available now on Steam. And rounding out the NovaWrap for this week with the release from Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 with their latest piece of DLC, with their Rims DLC pack out this week. Basically, you get 40 brand new rim models, with some with color variations, which give you 70 different combinations. This is available pretty much at the get-go, available for purchase through the in-game store. For purchase through the in-game mechanic store, coming in at $2 or your original equivalent if you're wanting to add a bit of flair to some of your custom vehicles. Available now on Steam. And with that, folks, that does round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy these videos and want to see more. And, of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. All right, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.